friends. Today we're doing a reading for the full moon of October, which is called the harvest moon. And we will be, as usual, picking 3 cards so that you can choose which reading fits for your intuition. And that's pretty much it. I'm running a bit late today. Today is the day before the full moon, so I won't be going into lots of random facts about the harvest moon, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the moon where the harvests come in most of the northern hemisphere, and it is an abundant moon, and the key word is fruition. So it's something that's been sort of building and that is coming to fruition. It is also a full moon, obviously, and it's the first of 3 supermoons, consecutive supermoons that we're going to have. So October, November, and December are all going to be super full moons, supermoons. So it will have quite a bit of influence, I imagine. So let's see what your intuition has to, and your spirit guides and so on have to tell you. At least let's see what the cards have to tell you. Okay, so I'm going to move these cards out of the way for now, and we're going to look at the 3 different spirit animals for this month. There's 1. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? There's 2, and let's give the last one a shot by itself. Oi, oi. We can't do 15. We need to do 3, not 15. So I'll take this one because it came out on its own. No, let's not take that because we did it another day. So let's see. 1. There we go. Excellent. 3 different spirit animals. Check. Okay, so now let's move all of the extra piles of cards over to the side so I can show you each of these spirit animals. The first one to come out is here we go. I have to figure out where to put my hand. Okay, the Swan Spirit. Okay, and you could probably not make out very clearly what it says, but it says time for a deep dive. Okay. The second animal spirit is the Bobcat Spirit. Ooh, move it that way, move it this way. Oh, okay, good. The Bobcat Spirit. And the keywords are very cool. Life is a mystery. Okay, and then we have here the Scarab Beetle. Once again, I have to wave my hand around till I find where I'm supposed to be going. Sorry about that. I should be able to tell, but somehow, well, anyway. Scarab Beetle Spirit. And it says, magic works through you. That's beautiful. Okay, so those are the 3 cards for the harvest moon. I'm going to put them here. And you get to pick. I don't have other ways for you to pick. As you know, it's usually just the spirit animal. So go ahead and pick which one calls to you or to your intuition more of the 3, the Swan Spirit, the Bobcat Spirit, and the Scarab Beetle Spirit. And then I will put in the description below what the direct timestamps are for each. And as always, you can go ahead and watch more than one if you are tempted or if your intuition tells you to. Okay, so I'll see you at the readings. Hello, Swan Spirit pile. We're going to be looking at the full moon of October, which is called the harvest moon. It's called, you have a keyword of fruition for this moon. And you have the Swan Spirit, which came out, you selected with the number 60 and the phrase, time for a deep dive. We're going to be looking at As with all full moons, what is it time for you to let go of in order to make room for something new at the new moon later on in the month? And just a little reminder, I mentioned it in the introduction, but just in case you just jumped straight to the reading, this full moon in 2025 is the first of 3 consecutive supermoons. That means November and December will also be, their full moons will also be supermoons. And supermoons basically are closer to the Earth, so they look huge, but they also similarly have more influence on you than the normal full moon, obviously, because it's closer and stronger. The magnetic pull is stronger. That's the idea. So anyway, here we go. We're going to take a look at what the cards have to tell you. So we start with time for a deep dive, and we'll take a look at some tea leaves first. Let me move these to the side and see what wants to come out. Whoa, wow, that was quick. All right, a bunch of them came out for you. And then let's pull out some tarot as well before we get going. Rather, let's let a bunch of tarot jump out, which is what I generally do. Okay, let's see. Will you jump out, any more of you? Here we go, 2 more. Let's see what else wants to come out. For Swan Spirit and the full moon of October. Let's see how many we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want one more at least. One more, please. Yes. Okay. There we go. So let's start with that. If we need more cards, we'll get more cards later. Interestingly, amongst the tea leaves that jumped out, we have a month card. So let's see what that is. That's the month of March. March. Isn't it pretty? The little bells. Okay. So put the month of March here to keep it in mind. And we'll put your spirit here, Swan Spirit. Okay. So we can make room for everything else. Let's bring this down a bit so you can see March. Okay, good. Then what else do we have for tea leaves? Successfully overcoming a problem. Sorry, didn't show it to you. There you go. Bridge. Successfully overcoming a problem. Then we have box. You will receive a gift. Whale. Great worry over nothing. Dark woman. This way, I guess. I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty focusing this today. It's not the camera, it's me mostly. So I don't know what that means. And maybe there's something hidden in your reading. Maybe my brain is doing funny things, who knows? But I like to think that when things happen during the readings, they mean something for the reading. So let's keep that in mind. Then we have table, hard work ahead. And finally, move this over a bit, lily, spiritual love. We have 2 more tea leaves, but I'm going to put these aside over here for when we might have some need to clarify or a greater another question that we want to follow up on. Okay, so now let's bring in the tarot cards to see if they clarify what's going on over here. We have the Lovers. Here we go again. Keep forgetting to do this. The Lovers. I don't know if I should do this. What do you think? Leave it in the comments. Is this too annoying, or is it just, can you see it fine without me doing that? Or is it something that you like to see and detail? The Five of Wands, I have it upside down. Let me flip it. Oh dear, you're going to have to forgive me. Then we have the Ace of Swords. I love these cards, they're so bright. The Six of Cups. The Four of Wands. Look at that turtle. She's having such a fun, relaxing time with her. I don't know if it's a soda or a beer. It's rather funny. The Empress. Ooh, lovely. And we'll put these two remaining ones aside as well. And we will use them shortly. Okay, don't worry. There they are, safe and sound. Okay, so let's take a look at your reading. We start off with something to do with a deep dive. Fruition and the month of March. Then we start looking at the tea leaves that talk about successfully overcoming a problem, a gift that you might receive, great worry over nothing, and dealing with a woman with dark complexion or hair. Then hard work ahead and spiritual love. Now, when we talk about spiritual love, we also have the Lovers here. I'm not sure if this is a love reading, but it's beginning to get a feel for maybe it is. Six of Cups is usually something from the past, a friendship, or mostly a relationship from the past or a memory from the past of something that was very pleasant. Sort of childlike joy, not like a love affair or anything. And then you have your Empress, which is the one that attracts everything to her, everything good to her. The Four of Wands, which means resting, and the Ace of Swords, which is a new beginning in a mental perspective. Five of Wands, that has to do with competition and arguments and difficulties in terms of either work, or it can also be internal, like if you're having some internal conflict about something. So given where these are placed and that we're talking about here, successfully overcoming a problem, it looks like you might have a situation where you're a bit torn about a relationship that might be coming into your life, sort of as a gift. That relationship doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, but it could very well be, all right? So you feel like you've gotten a gift, but you're a bit torn. Your mind is sort of getting in the way, telling you that, yes, this is a new beginning, but, what if things happen that, similar to the past? And even though there were some really good parts to this past, there might be some challenges there. Now, the relationship in question might have to do with a woman with dark complexion or hair, or it might be related to the woman with dark complexion or hair might be related to what happened in the past. So it seems like there's something you're worrying about. You're worrying that something's not going to be right, that your decision, you don't know what to decide. You don't know which way to go. You're conflicted, all right? But you're worrying about something that's not necessarily true or going to happen, but you're not sure. You might need a deeper dive. So deeper dive would involve sort of taking a moment, taking a little bit of time off of work, all right? Don't get your mind so involved, and trying to let your intuition and your way of judging situations when you can't use your mind, which happens, right? And sometimes we have to make a decision without using our mind, and we've had intuition or gut feeling that will tell us which way to go. Think back to situations where that has turned out well, and maybe try to access that in this situation, because when your intuition speaks to you, it's going to give you information that there's no logical way that you could know, right? But most of the time, if you're listening to your intuition, it is going to lead you in the right direction. Okay, so highly recommend that you take that step in order to clear this worry or to push you in one direction or another. Overall, this is a fruition. It looks like it'll come to fruition in March, so maybe this is relatively new, this relationship that's coming into your life. Maybe this Four of Wands is just telling you, chill out, it's new. Take your time. You don't need to decide now. You don't need to worry about it now. Just enjoy the relationship as long as it's positive for now, and then see what happens. But by March, you would know more, you would have a deeper dive, and you would be able to make a decision. Now, this gift may be related to a relationship that is new. I believe it is, but it might also have to do with the re-entry of somebody that was in your life before, possibly a dark woman or something else. Why do I say that? Because of the Six of Cups. Look at him. He's looking at these memories of enjoyment with others, right? So now let's pull these last two cards, both the tea leaves and four cards, I guess. The two tea leaves and the two remaining tarot cards, and see if they have something more to add in case I went in the wrong direction. Let's take a look. Aha, so definitely a love reading. Heart, love, deep affection, and caring. Maybe romantic, maybe not, but definitely a love reading, okay? And then this one, fan. Wow. Okay, romance, celebration, party. Okay, so probably a romantic relationship. That would explain why it's telling you to just sort of relax and enjoy a little bit at the moment, right? Eventually, relationships all take work, right? But at the moment, sort of enjoy what there is. Don't get too worked up about what's coming. And it might even be a spiritual love, like what do they call it? Soulmate, yes. or twin flame, or whatever they call it. It could be, it could be, as long as you keep in mind that you are the Empress, whether you're a man or a woman, you are the one that attracts in this particular case, and you need to be aware of your power and your worth, and not necessarily let people take advantage. Just have fun, enjoy, etc. As long as that's happening, give it some space to develop. Now let's take a look at these last two. Page of Wands. Yes, have some fun. It looks like fun's coming your way. And Queen of Wands. Okay. Now that might have something to do with work or your work, not necessarily work as in what pays you, but your work as in what you're trying to bring into the world. Maybe that is where you met this person, if it's a past person, or maybe that is how this new person is coming into your life. But it looks like it could be lots of fun. So what is this reading telling you to let go of? Because, of course, we are talking a full moon, a super moon, and that's usually what we're asking. What should I let go of in order for a new thing to develop by the new moon? And in this case, I think what it's telling you to let go of is this internal conflict, these worries over nothing, and the concern about what's coming up, how hard of work it would be. Are you worried that the relationship, that maybe you're a person who had relationships that weren't so easy or that required a lot of time and energy, and you've been single for a while and you're wondering if it's worth it? Or maybe you live alone and you like living alone and you don't really feel like having to adapt to another person in your space. Whatever it is, whatever your worries are, don't drop them. This is what the cards are saying. Drop them for now. Put them on hold. Don't forget. You don't need to forget. You don't need to pretend that you don't have worries, but put them on hold. Give yourself, let's say, how many months to March? Give yourself 6 months to enjoy. As long as things are going well, give yourself 6 months to enjoy and not really take anything very seriously or deeply in terms of what negative sides may be there. That said, obviously, stay safe, stay in your power, pay attention to how that person behaves, and 6 months will give you enough time to maybe see that person angry, see that person frustrated, see that person happy, see that person's way of being generous or not, All of those things will come to the surface over the span of 3 to 6 months. And therefore, letting go of your preconceptions is probably for the best, because if you have preconceptions, you're not going to be thinking. You're not going to be open and observing. You won't be so present, so you won't be noticing the signs for what direction this relationship is going in, and you might miss something important, right? Some information that you need to have. Meanwhile, try to tune into your intuition. And remember, intuition doesn't give you fear. Intuition leads you towards something that's good for you, whereas your head is where the fear lives, okay? So your mind. So try to allow for your intuition to tell you how to progress this new relationship or this old relationship that's coming back in the most positive way for the next couple of months. And then take a step back and do a deep dive, review what you've experienced, and then you'll be able to know what to do next. But meanwhile, seems like you're going to have a lot of fun, and I'm wishing you all the best. Take care, Swan Spirit. Hello, Bobcat Spirit. You selected the card Life is a Mystery, Bobcat. A beautiful cat, wow. And so today we're going to be looking at the harvest moon and the harvest moon of October. And as I mentioned in the introduction, the harvest moon of October is the first of 3 supermoons in 2025. So there will be supermoon in November and December as well. And I want them to jump out, so 1, 2. So I'm going to select some cards for you and we can get going. The idea, as with all full moons, is that you need to what do you need to let go of in order to allow something new to either appear or come to fruition in your life. 3 and 2 more. Okay, great, that's it. And now let's take a look at, one came out by itself. Your tea leaves. All right, let's see. Okay. And here's a blue one. Wow, I can't take that many. That's too many. Okay, let's start with that and see if we need more later. Okay. Let's take a look. All right. Interestingly, you got a month of the year, which also the Swan Spirit got a month of the year. So let's take a look. In your case, it's December. Okay, so we'll put that here, see how that is relevant in your reading in a minute. Okay, so let's take a look at your tea leaves first. You have hat. You will be playing a different role. You have fair woman. Dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. You have wall, misunderstanding. Owl, good advice from a wise person. And, move this over a bit. Gavel, involvement with the law. Okay, interesting. Let's take a look at your tarot cards and then we'll read what we think it means. The Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. Ooh, interesting. Okay, King of Wands, the King of Cups, two kings in a row, that's interesting, and the Eight of Cups, and you have 3 more cards which I'll put down here if they fit. No, I'll move this up a little, there we go, and then I'll put December down here so you can see it properly, and move these up, there we go. Okay. Yeah, very nice. Okay. There we are. So, let's take a look at your reading. We start with life is a mystery and fruition and the month of December. Then the Queen of Pentacles seems to be connected to the different role you will be playing and in relation to a fair woman, a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. There seems to be some kind of misunderstanding, maybe related to the law, but you're going to get some great advice from a wise person, and that should help. That wise person may be like the King of Cups, somebody who understands emotions very well, who has good control of emotions, but also, I see, okay. So what this says to me is that you're currently having a situation, right? A situation where you may have had to involve the law because there's been some kind of misunderstanding, and you are looking for financial compensation for whatever it is. Seems that you have left something behind. You have almost everything you need, but you want something more. So with the Eight of Cups, it's generally talking about walking away towards that 9th cup, right? Your wish. Page of Pentacles in this case has a to-do list, so there must be a lot going on for you right now, and it seems it might be related to work, but there's a lot of emotion involved as well. So clearly it seems something has happened for you at work. Now, that may be the work that pays you or not, or just your work in the world, but I think in this case it's the work that with where you make your money. And it's been a bit conflictive, right? There's been a lot of, I don't know if this fair woman is the person giving you the advice, or more likely is the person you've had the misunderstanding with. But regardless, it's caused you to be frustrated and to the point where you're literally getting involved legally to try to get your rights. What I can tell you is that the result is going to be excellent. You are going to manifest what you want. Your wish is going to come true, 9 of Cups, and you're going to be celebrating with your friends and family that everything has turned out perfectly. So that's pretty fantastic. And here is December, so probably it will all resolve in December. It'll come to fruition in December. So what is it that you need to let go of? I'm not sure based on this reading. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple more cards, both tarot and tea leaves, and see if they can give us a little more clarity on that. Oh, okay. Tea leaves just jumped out. Right. Seek out information that will help you. It's the vine. Wishbone, a wish is granted. We'll put that here with the 9 of Cups because it's basically the same story. A two-faced friend, cat. Ooh, ooh, there we go. Two-faced friend. Now that's interesting. I was having difficulties with these cards, with centering them for you where you can see them. See? But I didn't have any trouble with it recently, except now with this card. So somebody that you're dealing with, I don't know if it's her or somebody else, is sort of like playing a game with you where you can't really see what's going on. And that person appears to be sometimes a friend, but actually they are working against you. And so you need to seek out the information that will help you judge that. But regardless, you know, things are going to turn out. Here we have dealings with or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. Okay. So that clarifies. This person is not that person. That person maybe is the one giving you wise advice. This person is a person with dark complexion or hair, most likely a woman. So I guess since we've asked, what is it? Ooh, they just came out as well. Oh, you didn't see it, but they just came out from the bottom of the pile. So I think I'm going to pick them. So maybe what you need to let go of is this friendship with a two-faced person. Judgment. And Page of Wands. Yeah. Looks like it might be somebody at work that looks very like lighthearted and playful and friendly, but may not be at all. So perhaps that is the best thing for you to let go of. Use your judgment, determine more information, but mainly follow your intuition to identify who that person is. And you don't need to cut them out completely. Relationships are not necessarily always that simple, but perhaps by looking at that person with a little bit of skepticism and creating a bit of energetic protection, right? by, I don't know. I recently was listening to a video on YouTube where a lady was talking about, I forget her name, I'll look it up and put it in the notes below. She was talking about how you can protect your energy. And of course, there is a process that you can use in the mornings or once a day to create sort of a energetic shield, if you will, by focusing on light and sort of doing a quick meditation. But there's also a way you can stop it in the moment when people are trying to suck your energy. And it was very simple. She said, casually cross your hands over your heart or your middle, and cross your legs as well, or cross your ankles if you're standing. And apparently that stops the energetic, sort of siphoning and makes it possible for you to take perspective and not get sucked into that person's story. So I don't know if this is helpful for you, but there it is. I just recently heard it, so I figure it must be useful for someone. So anyway, that seems to be what you need to let go of, and possibly, because it says you will be playing a different role. This table's wobbly too. It was never wobbly before. Seriously, I don't know what's going on. I think that perhaps with this full moon, things are not going to feel stable. Okay, not for all of us. And therefore, what we need to do is be very careful in how we move, but not necessarily take it like it's going to be a bad thing. Not necessarily. In your case, not at all. It looks like it's going to turn out exactly the way you wish it would turn out. But to just, try to realize that with this full moon, maybe things are not so clear. Maybe certain things are not very easily or well seen, and also not so stable. They don't feel so stable, but that's okay, because nothing awful's going to happen. It looks like you've got it, right? The only thing is you just need to take things with a grain of salt, not overly identify with what other people are telling you, and just let the flow of life take you to where it wants to lead you, which is very beautiful, okay? And it looks to me like you're going to be celebrating in December for sure. All right, well, Bobcat Spirit, wishing you all the best, and thank you for listening. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello, Scarab Spirit. You have chosen the Scarab Spirit, which has the phrase, magic works through you. Okay, so we're going to be talking about, as with all full moons, what do the cards recommend that you let go of for the October full moon. And as we discussed, the October full moon is a harvest moon called with the keyword fruition, and it is a supermoon, the first of 3 supermoons. So November and December will also be supermoons. And a supermoon, as you probably already know, is the same as a full moon, only the moon is closer to the earth, so it can have stronger effects on us, as well as stronger effects on tides and other such things on the earth. So we're going to get you a couple of tea leaves, and then we're going to get some tarot cards. And oh, the tea leaves just fell out by themselves. All right, there we have it. And then we're going to see what the cards have to say to you today. All right, so this one also seems to want to come out, so I'm going to put it here. All right. Oh, wow, the cards are really jumping for you. Literally, look at the rabbit. All right. right. Just a few more. We need 8 at least. Oh, wow. They don't want to jump now. I didn't mean to make fun of you, cards. Jump on out. Jump on out. Five, 7, 8. Okay, let's start there and see if we need more, we'll get more. All right. So we'll begin by looking at your tea leaves. You have vulture. Oh dear. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Okay, let me put the scarab beetle here. We'll put the vulture there. All right. Pay attention to your health. Cane. Fly. A period of ill health or depression. Oh dear, I'm so sorry, Scarab Beetle Spirit. Ah, butterfly. A change for the better. Broken wishbone. A wish will not be granted. And obstacles to be overcome. And this one we're just going to leave on the side for the moment until we need it. So we'll put it here. Okay, then let's bring in the tarot cards. 9 of Swords. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry you've been having a difficult time. Ace of Wands. The World. Wow. This is a very interesting... Ah, the Lovers. Very interesting reading. 7 of Pentacles. And 5 of Pentacles. Okay, let's keep these 2 in case we later need them, which I have a feeling we will. Okay, so we start with magic works through you and fruition. And the question is, what should you let go of in order to bring something new into your life in the new moon, or in order to bring something new into fruition at the new moon of October. So we have depression. Oh, the table's wobbly again. Okay. Depression, anxiety, and worry that someone is against you. And 9 of Swords, that's pretty consistent. 9 of Swords is definitely worry. Sometimes it's unnecessary worry, worry that is not based on anything real, but it's excessive worry, and it definitely can reflect anxiety. Okay. Then we have pay attention to your health. And the Ace of Wands, which has to do with a new beginning usually, a new beginning relating to work. A period of ill health or depression again, and the World, which is a very interesting combination because the World is usually a culmination of something, a completion of a cycle, I suppose, fruition of something that's been growing, but it's usually positive. So a period of ill health and depression, maybe it's saying that it's over. The World is the last of the major arcanas before the cycle begins again with the Fool. So maybe that's what it's getting at. Then we have a change for the better and the Lovers, which is interesting because we start off talking about health and mental health, etc., and then we flip all of a sudden into possibly the lovers. But the lovers can be other relationships as well, supporting friends, etc. Or it could also be your partner or someone new that comes into your life. But it seems like whoever it is a breath of fresh air, a ray of sunlight. It's helping you move forward. You may have had this sadness, this anxiety, or health problem because, well, it might have been as literal as you broke a bone, but it could also be that you had a situation where you had a wish that looked like it was going to develop and then it fell apart, and that had a very strong effect on you. Here we have the Seven of Pentacles, which reminds you that you have planted many seeds and you have a lot of potential harvest to pick from. You do not need to worry about picking only one. And you do not need to worry that you will run out of whatever it is, because sometimes it's money, sometimes these pentacles are often about money, but they can also be about essentially material things. So, your health is also a material thing, earthly things. So in this case, it's this feeling that you have nothing left, that there's nowhere to go, there's nothing left, that it's all obstacles, right? And yet you do. Look at this panda he's got, or whatever the bear is. He's got a tree with money growing on it, right behind him. And this is a recurring theme because we're talking here another plant that has been cared for by the bees, apparently, and that is giving flower and fruit. So, fruit, which is money in this case. So it looks to me like you have a lot more resources than you think you do. You have a great person in your life that is supporting you, and this cycle of ill health, depression, or anxiety may be coming to an end. The Ace of Wands is a new beginning. It's usually related to work, but it doesn't have to be. It's action, a new action. So perhaps it's interesting because there's the cane, and here this wand looks like a cane as well, even though instead of leaning on it, this bunny is like swinging on it, right? So it's almost like this bunny has taken something which is a support for an illness or a lack, and has turned it into something that he can swing to the stars with. Okay. So potentially, many times when we go through a difficult moment in our lives, it's awful, obviously, and we have to learn how to get through it. We have to lean on whatever resources we currently have. We have to invent resources when we don't have them or we don't think we have them. We have to shift our perspective in order to look at things in a different way and try to turn it into something positive. I remember there was, at one point I was doing a course on positive intelligence, it's called. It's a gentleman from the Middle East, I believe, who was coming up with he had done a lot of research into the way the brain works and so on, and had discovered that we have within us, in our mind, both a bunch of saboteurs telling us all the wrong things, and then we also have a sage, which we can encourage to grow by being present and being mindful. So what he had suggested in a time of difficulty was asking yourself, what can I do, or how can I make this situation end up being in, I don't know, 5-10 years, the best thing that could have happened to me? Have it give me a lot more profit, or he was talking in terms of work, but in general, have it be something that has actually been for my benefit. And to be honest, I think that personally, I believe very much that even when we go through difficult times, we are learning, and it can be over time something that ends up being very beneficial to us if we look at it from that perspective. So in this case, even though the situation's a bit difficult, I would say what perhaps, very difficult, I'm sorry, I don't mean to minimize, what the cards seem to be saying is perhaps let go of your rigid perspective on what should be. Look at what is and see how you can use what is to your advantage, on how it can develop into something better. And where focus on those areas like this supportive friend or partner, like this tool to help you through that might actually turn out what sends you all the way to the stars, like the fact that the depression or anxiety or worry is coming to an end. Use it to notice the resources that you actually have. Notice the what can launch you, how you can use it, and start taking your first micro step in that direction. Try to stop focusing entirely on the worries, because the worries are not going to get you out of this. This is very hard advice, but that is what the cards are suggesting, that it's time to let go of the focus on the worry and the sadness and the ill health. And it's time to start looking and focusing on what is good, on what is possible. Okay, now let's take a look, in case I misinterpreted all of this, at the extra cards that we have over here. See what they say. Okay, so we have light-hearted, carefree time. Oh, that's pleasant. We have the moon. Okay. And we have Two of Cups. Oh, that's so sweet with the lovers. Okay. So it seems like this person that's in your life, whether it be a new person or a existing friend or partner, is really going to help you with this change of perspective, and is really going to give you some light-hearted moments and carefree time with this moon, if you let him or her, sorry. This particular moon card, it's not as, so the moon can talk about the moon, obviously, but it can also talk about, illusion, intuition, many different things that are kind of contrasting, because illusion is, seeing things that aren't really there, but intuition is seeing things that are there, but you have no way of knowing, right? So it can be a card that's a little bit hard to nail down. But in this case, I think what it's trying to tell you is what we were just talking about. Every situation has two sides. And it looks like right now you're getting some help for seeing the positive side. And to follow that, let go of the pain, let go of the fear as much as you can, breathe through it, let yourself have some fun, let yourself have joy, give yourself permission. Just because things are bad doesn't mean you should not have permission to rest, to enjoy, to love, right? So give yourself a chance to, have a positive time. Even if it doesn't mean all the time, even if sometimes you just can't, you have to go back to your worries and anxiety and pain. It happens. There are situations that are very, very, very hard. But allow a wave, right? Things come in waves sometimes. So allow a wave of joy, lighthearted, carefree time. Allow a wave of love to come in. Allow the waves that are on the positive side to come in, even when you're in a difficult situation. So remember the Scarab Spirit. It said, magic works through you. You can manifest. What you focus on can sometimes grow. So if you focus on something positive, at least part of the time, it can grow and it can give you the possibilities that are right there in front of you, but maybe you're not seeing them. So, Scarab Spirit, I am so sorry to hear that you are going through this difficult time. I'm wishing you all the best, all the healing, everything good. And I hope that this reading has been helpful. Take good care of yourself. Wishing you a full recovery. Take care.